Hello and welcome everybody to the start of a brand new exciting series that, dude, I am super stoked about starting this series. Now, when I first started my YouTube channel, I never thought about ever doing anything Dokkan related, but as time goes on, I thought more and more about it, and this is one game that I know a lot about. I don't know everything. I'm not gonna claim to be some god level character that's done everything in the game and it has every unit fucking maxed out 100%, and I'm like a big whale or whatever. You know what I mean? But I played the game a lot and I have a lot of knowledge of the game. So the point of all of this is that this series, the Road to 300 series, is what I'm giving the catchy, the catchy series title. Is the premises is I start a brand new account, roughly like a brand new account. It is a brand new account. Like I haven't really started it. All I really started was the start animation and all the beginning stuff when Shenron talks to you. But this is like after I download everything, and if I click this, I go straight to mission 1. You know what I mean? So it's a brand new account. So the whole premises of the series is, how would I go about playing a brand new account? Basically, being a brand new player. What are some tips, some tricks, how to build teams, explaining a lot of aspects of the games as simple as I possibly can, and basically play with what I have. Now, with that being said, the rules for doing I wouldn't call it a challenge. It's more like a series. And sure, it's a challenge, whatever, right? But the whole purpose of this is for me to not spend any money on the game. So this is a gacha game, if you haven't already heard about it. If you haven't even nobody ever whispered it in your ear, right? It's a gacha game. So, you're supposed to spend money on the game to summon for new units. That's like the whole gig, right? But you don't have to do that. The game is at a state now that, dude, the developers just give you a bunch of shit. They just give you a bunch of, not really shit, but yeah, no, they give you a bunch of stuff and stones and stuff like that to summon. And there's so much content in the game. There's 6 years worth of content, and there's still more to come, because it's still like, it's only a couple days since the anniversary started in general. So this is a very good time, and I know there's a big influx of players coming to the game now, especially as you can see within like the 2 side screens that the 2 pictures on the side. Those are the 2 new units that have come out with the year 6 anniversary. But that rule 1, not spent a single dime in the game. Not one thing I am going to buy. I'm not going to spend $1. I'm not going to spend a penny. I'm not going to spend anything on the game outside of me playing how as I go. This is a complete free to play account. Not completely free to play, like I'm not gonna not summon on banners, but this is a complete free to play account where I don't spend any money on the game. The second premise is I show, like, the purpose is not to get to 300. Well, it is, but it isn't. Like, yes, by the time we get to 300, we should be at a very good place to where we could do a lot of stuff in the game. You don't have to get to 300 to do all this stuff, but the premise is by the time you hit 300, you're very knowledgeable about the game. Now, it takes a while to get to 300, even if you're farming for it, but I'm not going to really farm for level 300. There'll be times where, I'm farming and you'll just level up, right? But the whole premise is I really needed a nice catchy title for the series, and it sounds pretty cool in my opinion. But also to basically from level 1 to 300, it's the journey from level 1 to 300 and see how we can do. And it's, Dokkan is an ever evolving game, so we're going to do celebration by celebration, and hopefully get, from the beginning, and maybe get to a point where, we're pretty stacked in our box and a bunch of units, but also to show a different approach. So, like, the whole premise of the game as well, and this long intro, is to explain that, when you summon for units, and we'll get to that when we get to that, right, is that you're not always going to get the units you want. So the whole other big reason for this series is we play with what we have, and to build good strategy and build good teams for what we have. Now, everybody's experience is going to be different. Some of you might pull like insane amount of luck and pull some of the greatest units in the game right off the bat. But like, what do you do with that? So that's also what I'm going to go into. My luck is my luck and see what happens. I have, kind of luck, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes. But we play with what we have for, difficult events, for events that come out every so often. And, we hit certain milestones that I'll set at the end of the video. It's like, okay, by the time we come back next, this and that, right? We'll get into that as we get into that. But let's all introductions aside, you know who I am. I'm Arch Blackblade, but you can call me Archie or Arch or, So let's go and let's start the game. I've already done the downloads and everything. This should take us to mission 1, unless it's going to be like, oh, you spend... Okay, this is just starting out. Oh. What? Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay. So, for a lot of you that don't know, of course, I haven't started... Dude, I'm level 0. My name is Berserker. I'm going to change all that very quickly. But, like, when you start a brand new account, you're supposed to go through the whole Shenron animation, and then it shows you how to play the game. But then, like, when you load into the game fully after you do the download, like, Trunks talks to you, you go into the story, you do the first mission of the story, like, first 2 missions or something like that, then it introduces the rest of the game to you, right? But I apparently are just jumping straight in there, because, like, when I saw Trunks introducing the first mission, I kind of just exited out of the game, because I didn't want to continue any forward, because I wanted to get to this point. I wanted to basically keep talking as I was doing all that, but I guess we're doing this now, right? Okay, so also I'm going in completely blind. I don't have a strategy. I don't have a strategy about how I go the game, because there's not a real good time to start Dokkan, because the game again is ever evolving, and story events and events come and go as time every single day and every single celebration. So, but this is a good time to start Dokkan, because a lot of people are starting. And this is a good time to start a new account for that same reason. So first thing foremost, it's not the gift, it's not the news, it's not the mission, it is the main menu, because we need to change our name. How the hell do we do that? Dude, I haven't changed my name in... Oh, there it is. Nickname. Dude, oh yeah, no, I know a lot about the game. I changed my name once, and that was in the beginning. So, obviously, our full name can't go in there. So let's go with Arch. Just generic, kind of dumb, like concise version of my name. Okay, so first things first, right? This is your home screen. I'm going to explain the basics of the game as we go along, right? So this is your home screen. So first things you notice is Shenron, menu, news, gift, mission, which is right here. Recommended characters, and then your bottom screen, and then like the news tab, these like little event news tabs, right? Don't worry about that. So let's go from left, let's go from top left to bottom right? So this is our rank right here. We're level 1, obviously. This hopefully within I don't know how long this series is going to take, but this hopefully will be 300 one day, right? That's our name, our XP bar, our stamina bar, which requires basically everything in the game, requires you to use stamina. Some events and some things don't require stamina. You'll see them here and there. Usually big events or challenging events do not require stamina, but stamina is a very big thing of the game. That's your Zenny count, money, stone count. That's what you use to summon stuff on. Oh, let me go back real quick. Going down the list, this is your characters. This is the generic wallpaper you'll get. You can, like, as you build teams, you can kind of rotate through the through your characters, right? To display them, right? As you do celebrations and stuff like that, and as time goes on, you're given wallpapers for free, and I'll show that off here in a second. This is your recommended tab, recommended characters tab. This will show you all the characters that you have or can attain that can be awakened and stuff like that, and it'll recommend like, oh, this is for beginners. This is a pretty good start to the game. We don't have any of these characters. It's a brand new account, but this is characters you can go and grind. Once you have the character and you've grinded out and awakened the character, this kind of fills out. This is kind of like a nice, neat little thing, but I don't really use it, not even in my main account, because I know, I keep track on my own. This is your mission tab. Let's click on it real quick. Your daily missions are here. This is what you get obviously your dailies and stuff, like they're pretty generic. Your normal missions are kind of generic, like, oh, just do this, do this, do this. It's kind of a first time deal, you know what I'm saying? It's not that big. They're closed. We need to reach rank tank in order to get to the hard missions. It's kind of the same premises as the normal missions here. It's just, you get a little bit more rewards and requires more specific things. Same thing with the Z hard missions. You need to be to level 30, and special missions will always be open. This is where your missions for like event missions or anniversary or like celebration missions go to play, or event missions. I think I just said that, but this is where you can keep track of everything. This is the one of the more important tabs. Special Kai Trials is more for your base story of Dokkan. The base story of Dokkan, nobody knows. It's all over the place. It still remains a mystery to the day. I'm pretty sure somebody has an explanation for it. I don't know what it is. It's a big skip button to me, if you ask me, right? So basically, as you complete the base generic version, the base generic story missions of Dokkan, this quest kind of fills out, and these give you special rewards and stuff like that. And it tells you like, oh, just complete the stage without dying, complete support items, complete the stage using SSR 6 SSR or lower characters, and you get rewards. And these rewards go into the exchange tab right here that's down there. We'll explain that as we get along. This episode might be a little bit long, but that's okay. Right now, as the celebration is going on, there is campaign missions. If we click on it, we'll go into like our personal tab, which is, you can kind of say like clear any stage related to Universal Survival Saga once, so any teams and stuff like that, or any of, and there's obviously rewards for doing it 40 times and stuff like that. We'll get into that when we get to that, right? Team missions is kind of more of the this is new. There's just a very recent thing added to Dokkan, where you put in a bracket and you kind of fall into the bracket of other people, and you get rewards based upon how collectively of a group you do certain things, right? So hold on, let me just make sure I tab over back to regular missions. Okay, good. So going on from there, going on from bottom, this is your Shenron tab. As you go along and do the base story of Dokkan, you can collect Dragon Balls, and then you can summon Shenron to give you wishes. They're very basic, generic wishes that towards the end, they're still useful, but for a beginner like me and you, well, more or less me and you, for us, it's very important. We'll get in more into that as we go along, and I'll show you guys. This is your menu tab. Obviously, you can go to your friends, your data linking, your data linking, your backups, your options, kind of a generic thing. I would actually recommend, if you're going to be playing Dokkan, to back up your account and link your account to a Google account or a Facebook account, because you don't want to lose. If you accidentally delete the game, it's gone forever and all your save progress is gone. So make sure you link. I'm going to do that off screen because I have to, sign in and stuff like that, and I don't want to show that on screen, right? Yeah, look at that. This is your news tab. If you click on this, you could show like, oh, the campaigns that are going on, everything, you know what I mean? All the cool packs and, all the news and stuff. This is basically just a news tab. This is the event tab, like, oh, what current events are going on, you know what I mean? Like, this event is going on. We'll explain more of that. And then your other tab is more like maintenance, kind of announcements, you know what I'm saying? And then going from down, this is your boost meter. So certain every event in the game, or most event in the games, require stamina, and then once you complete the event once, you can activate a boost if you have boost, to basically get double rewards, or boosted rewards, as people say, right? It's basically double rewards, or a chance at double rewards. You understand what I'm saying? That's why it's boosted rewards, because it's not actually double, but it's just boosted rewards. Depending on the celebration, depending on it, at base, it resets, it refreshes every 8 real time hours. So if you use one, you have to wait 8 hours for it to refresh. But the Dokkan is a very passive game. It's a game you play on like your lunch break, or maybe at home a little bit, or when you're out, waiting for your wife to finish shopping. I know that's a couple hours right there, you know what I'm saying? I mean, all jokes aside, right? Only joking. Going from down, this is your gift tab. We'll click on that here in a little bit. This is your home tab. If you're anywhere else, you can click the home at any time for the most part, and it will take you back to this screen originally. This is your team tab. This is where you're going to spend a lot of your time building your characters and stuff like that, compared to everything else in the game. This is your team tab. You click on this. This is where you can build teams. As time goes on, you get more team tabs, I believe, right? Dude, but you get 6 to start off. This is your sell tab. You can sell Hercule statues. We'll get into what those are in a little bit and in a later video, right? Or later on this video. You can also sell units if you really want to. Don't recommend that. We'll explain why. This is your training tab. And, you know, it kind of goes into a little bit more explanation there. If you want to read it, I'll leave it on the screen for a little bit. But the premise is you kind of click on the character and you can train up your character. We'll go into this more specific here later. I'm just kind of showing a general overview. Your Awaken tab is once you max out a character in training, you can further ascend them using medals that you collect in game, and I'll show where to collect medals and stuff like that, and farming and stuff like that. So I'll show you all that as time goes on. There's your item tab, which you keep track of all your items, your training items, your training locations, awakening medals, skill orbs, and so on and so forth, right? Other is more like ticket stuff and generic things. This your character list. It just shows your list of characters. It's kind of more of display, if anything. Your Dokkan Awaken, this tab is pretty cool. It shows like all the units in the game, and you know, you can kind of filter out like unacquired. We don't have anything, obviously, so these are a lot of units, man. There's a lot in this game. That's why it's a little, Dokkan could be kind of overwhelming for new players because there's a lot. Now we also have closed tabs. This is the awakening. This is the potential system, the hidden potential system. We have to get to level 50 in order to activate this and clear out some events. So we'll do that as time goes on, and I'll explain this in more detail when we get to level 50 and unlock that. But don't worry about that now. And the reverse system goes hand in hand to this. Goes hand in hand to the potential system. We'll get there when we get there. The special sticker basically gives a nice animation hue, if that's the right word to use, to certain. Not every character can have a sticker applied to it. You know, we'll get there. It's more of a when we get there. But literally, if you have a UR that can have a sticker equipped to it, it'll show up here. We don't have anything, obviously, but it'll show up here, and we'll be able to put the sticker on it, and it basically gives it an animation to the character, makes it look pretty. It's all it is. It's to make the character look pretty. And let me tell you something. This is one of my favorite additions to the game. Now, obviously, there's a how to use button and a character list, right? But that's besides the point. So that's our team tab. This is obviously the summon tab. This is where we go to summon for our units, right? We'll go into more detail of all these in a later video, right? This is your shop tab. Every gacha game has this. This is where you go to buy stones. Like, there's a lot of how I have my main account, and I see this and I'm like, that's, you know, I have a pretty bad habit buying stones, man. I gotta really limit myself. We'll go into more in depth if you want to spend money on the game. I don't recommend it, but if you want to, this is what I would recommend to do. You know what I'm saying? I'll give my recommendations, how to limit yourself and stuff like that. If they're real value, if you want to spend a little bit of money on the game. If you go to the exchange tab, this is the other big tab you're gonna be at a lot, really. This is the Baba Shop. We'll go in more in depth what the Baba Shop is, but it's basically in-game currency for most part. None of this requires money. None of this requires stones. This is all in-game currency based upon events, story events, stuff like that you can come to and exchange stuff for to get really cool stuff. So we'll go more in depth later, but that's kind of the general overview of the game. That's kind of a very generic overview of the game. And what can we expect? Now, when you first log into the anniversary for 6th year, depending on when you do it, you're gonna get a bunch of gifts. That's usually how it goes. And I'm doing this anniversary, so depending on when you start, depends on how much you get in gifts. Anniversaries, World Download Celebration that happens about a month from now at the time of recording this video and the time I'm gonna upload this video, or around Christmas or Halloween and stuff like that. They give out a lot of rewards for a lot of people, so there's a lot of things to get. Again, this is an ever-evolving game, and this is an ever-going-on series I'm going to be doing. So we're going to be playing through celebration. Even after we get past 300, I feel, you know, there's always something new to play. And obviously, we're not going to get everything in the game right away. Like, that's unless I spend thousands of dollars and still not get everything, I'm not going to get everything. So it's a complete, like, it's a road to 300, but not really. You know, it's a catchy title. I thought it was cool. So let's click our our gift tab, and these are all the stuff we're getting for the celebration. So let's click accept all, and then it shows, bam, this is all the stuff we got. Now there's a lot here to look at, like especially right here. Those are some new stuff that the support members on them, but we got 110 stones, right? And we got a bunch of stuff here. So let's go ahead and I really want to start. Okay, we're 20 minutes in, so it's a little bit long, but let's go ahead. This is just a big introduction, right? So let's go ahead and do our first multi ever on the new player support summon spirit. Dude, I have not seen this in so long, like 6 months, because I started a JP account to play the 6th anniversary like 6 months ago, but I haven't touched it for like a while until like very recent. There's a big celebration going on the JP side of the game. So I haven't seen this in so long. Wow, so much nostalgia, dude. Oh my god, this is gonna be a lot of fun. I'm super excited. All right, let's do our five multi, and let's jump right into it. Okay, so another thing, when jumping into animations, there's certain like character combos, as you can say, or like cues on the screen that can indicate, okay, we're getting this or this, or we might expect this. You know what I mean? We'll get more into that as we do more summons, and you know, watch your favorite Dokkan YouTuber. If it's me, hopefully, right? Cross fingers and hope to die. Or if it's somebody big like Nanogenics or Truth, or you know, Tiger Up Media. Oh, dude, I'm like butchering these names, but like if it's any of them, go for it. You know what I mean? So we got Super Saiyan Goku, very generic card. Let's also, if it's the first SSR copy of the card you get, which we'll go more into detail what I mean by copy, make sure you click the lock. You don't want to accidentally level up your character and make them all crazy and then delete them, right? You don't want to do that. Believe me, I've done that in the past, and I've made sure never to do that again, because it really freaking sucks, man. I'll explain what the character bio and stuff, all that means here in a little bit. Please rate our game. Let's go ahead and cancel that real quick. I'll do that off screen. But that's a very generic overview of the game. In the next episode, we'll start off looking at that Super Saiyan Goku and going over what it means per the character, and then we'll click on a different character to go ahead and what's it called? Oh, dude, I'm losing my train of thought. To go over like more advanced versions of characters, which you might get early on, because everybody's luck is different and every account is completely different. I'll tell you that for free. So with that being said, I really appreciate you guys watching until the end of the video. Now I'm super excited for the adventure and the road ahead for this. I'll explain more of what I'm going to be doing with the game, but this is just a big like generic kind of intro for what I'm going to be doing with the series. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace.